and the beers in the air.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a special bonus episode of the HalfGen podcast. You got not one episode this month, but two, you lucky little devils, you. One might say Island Devils. I'm thinking of playing that at the beginning. I might mute our normal intro, and I might play that at the start.
Sure.
So over like the HalfGen thing that plays, just have the Attack on Titan intro go, and then just have it lead into us. Should I do that one or Rumbling? I think I should do that one. But Rumbling is also really good.
Yeah.
Rumbling's probably my second favorite opening. Rumbling might be my favorite opening now. It's really good. Like, and I like that track a lot. For some reason, they're like, it's also just perfect for that season. Oh my god.
Yeah.
But yeah, so today is a spoiler cast for Attack on Titan. The dub wrapped up this weekend. I have been watching the dub the whole time. So Ross was kind enough to wait for me before spoiling anything. And goddamn, if the show ended right now, I would still be happy. If that was the finale, that would have been ominous in a cool way.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
I agree.
Spoilers ahead. If you haven't finished Attack on Titan through season 4 part 2, turn it off now. You've been warned, and we're gonna spoil everything. And I fucking love this show, dude. I'm so upset I have to wait for more. But that finale, episode 87, was so good. Like, the way it started was really good, but the way it ended was like, I was totally okay. We're jumping ahead right here. I was totally okay if they didn't show the rumbling this season. I thought maybe they would save it and open with that in part 3. But seeing the rumbling was incredible. And I didn't know how bad I needed it until I saw it.
Yeah.
That was something else.
Yeah, the show is one of the rare ones that are hyped to hell and back, and it lives up to it and exceeds it and continues to improve season to season, which I feel like happens 1 out of every 100 shows. So, yeah, I'm very excited.
You know what?
I just recently marathoned the whole thing. I'd watched season 1 when it first came out, thought it was fine. And then it took like 5 years for season 2 to come out, and by that point I had kind of lost interest. And then recently I just rewatched season 1 and marathoned everything else. So it is.
I'm not saying this. I want to be clear. I am not saying this in an "I told you so" kind of way. I want to be perfectly clear. I just want to be clear with that I genuinely mean this. I am glad that you gave.
I did not tell you so, but. Yes.
I'm glad you gave the show another opportunity. I am glad that you took my advice to at least try again. And that it lived up to the hype that I gave it, because I wasn't sure if you were gonna vibe with it the second time, but it sounded like what happened to me happened to you, where like with kind of knowing what happens in season 1, it felt better to watch, and then once the new stuff kicks off, it's just a fucking roller coaster of like emotions and like nonsense and incredible like fights and gore, and like it's really good.
Yeah. And I think I know we differ a little bit, but for me, definitely season 1 and 2, the pacing for me was kind of a little all over the place.
Season 1 is definitely
especially slow. Where season 1 starts off like it goes super hard the first couple episodes, and then it takes a hard dip and then kind of goes up and down until the end, where it finally kind of has one last incline. And then season 2 focused a lot on the side characters, which I liked, but I wanted answers, which that season did not provide for the larger questions of the story. But
I can't take credit for this opinion or for what I'm going to say next. It's a video, and I wish I could remember who it was or when I watched it. It was a while ago. It was a couple weeks ago, but it was talking about the theme songs and like how each theme song matches the season. And like
Yeah.
it also kind of like was a good example of like how all the seasons are very different. Like season 1 is very like triumphant in the sense, like that's why it has that opening, because it's like we're going to take the fight to the Titans, and it's like
Right.
we have a weapon we can use against the Titans now. So that's why, when it comes out with that hard hitting, it's just like, yo, this is humanity. We're finally going to fight outside the walls. And then season 2 is all about humanity fighting with itself, because like the people within the wall still don't believe the threat, even though they've lost two, they've lost two walls, not two walls, but they've lost one wall already. They lost Maria. And so like season 2 is humanity fighting itself. And then season 3 kind of comes back to, it's kind of like optimistic for the future, because now they have a plan. So like season 3, I think, is the optimistic one, if I remember correctly. And then season 1 was just like, I think season 1 is about fighting for their lives. It's, we have nothing but this fight, because if we lose, we die, kind of thing. And then so that's season 1 had the unenviable task of setting everything up so that the other seasons could exist.
Yeah,
And
I'm so torn on season 1 because it did have to set everything up. I think I'm of two minds of like how the show kicks off is like the best hook to any show. Like
Yes.
it's one of the best episode 1s of all time.
I agree.
But I feel like it, to me, and again, looking at everything now, this is more of a moot point. But I think starting off that amazing kind of hurt season 1 for me. Where if they would have started a little bit lower and kind of was consistently gradually kind of had an incline for the season, I think I wouldn't have been as disappointed the first, along with the big reveal of the female Titan that wasn't a reveal at all, which they did a lot better in the manga to hide it, I think. But again, it's a moot point now, and it's still one of the best first episodes of any show I've ever watched.
I really like, though, just thinking of the female Titan, there is so much of this show, and season 1 really benefits from watching through the rest of the show, because there are so many things that happen in season 1. And like one of the perfect examples is when Rhina fights the female Titan and she grabs him. And, huh?
When who fights the female Titan?
Rhina? I always hear it as Rhina. That's how I always hear his name.
Which one is Reiner?
I guess. I don't know. The yellow hair.
Reiner. Oh, yeah. Right, yeah.
It sounds like they always say Rhina in the English dub.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That's how it always sounds to me.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. The Armor Titan.
Oh, there you go.
But like when I know his name is Reiner, but they always say Rhina. That's how it always sounds. Every character says Rhina. So like, I don't know if that's like, if they're just doing it as like a nickname, but I've never heard anyone call him Reiner.
Huh.
And I know that's how I've seen his name like spelled and whatever, but I don't know.
Right,
That's how that's how I always hear it in the dub.
Okay.
But basically when she grabs him and, we later find out that he was trying to figure out where Eren is in the formation, and he's carving it into her hand. And like he breaks out of her hand and she's looking at it, and you think like, oh, she's looking at it because she's amazed like he did that much damage. But in reality, she's looking at what he wrote on her hand. And she's like, I'm going to go find Eren now. And it's like, it's not something you think about in the moment. But then when you have the context of later in the seasons, it's just like, oh my God. Like, and they come to that realization, and it's just like, holy shit. Like, so much of this shit is like set up so early, and you don't realize it. And again, like, I was spoiled that he was the Armored Titan at one point.
Yeah,
but it made sense.
That's the one thing I was spoiled on. Yeah.
It made sense when you looked at it in season 1. It's like, okay, yeah, no, I can totally see it. I didn't know who like the Colossal Titan was, but it makes sense as well.
Yeah, with the Colossal Titans, like the one exception, but like the female Titan and the Armored Titan, they look like the people.
They look like the people that are them.
Yeah.
And dude, like all the shit from season 4, and then watching the beginning of season 1 again, that first episode even, and just seeing that and just realizing like, oh my God, like Eren is seeing the future. He doesn't realize it yet though.
And just how close he had been for years to finding out about the world beyond the island, and that we didn't get an answer to until freaking took so long to get back to that damn basement. Oh,
But like, it was so worth it when we got there.
Yep. Yep,
And
that
then
reveal.
like,
I was not expecting. I genuinely was not expecting that reveal. Of like, oh, there's a world beyond this island that's like advanced and like kind of normal.
I didn't either.
Relatively.
And like
I
that
didn't
they
see it
know
coming.
about the Titans. Like they're aware
Yeah,
of the
and they know
Titans,
about
and
the
they're just like,
Titans.
we're not worried about them anymore. We have
Yeah.
developed means to deal with them. And it's just like this idea that like not only is there a world outside their walls, but like you said, they're advanced and they don't really care about the
Yeah.
Titans as much. Like they fear the concept of the Titans more than the physical Titans. I had always assumed in season 1, I had always assumed that in the basement they were going to find out that his dad was making Titans in some way. I knew
That's
that the
what
human.
I thought. That's what I thought
knew
too.
that
Yep.
Titans were people. They had to be.
Yeah.
And like, so I always thought they were going to open the basement and they were going to find out that Grisha was partially responsible for making Titans. That it was something they tried to do. It went horribly wrong. And then, now this is the existence we have. And so I always thought it was like humanity's self-inflicted destruction in some way.
That's what I thought it was too. No, I was on the exact same page.
I thought it was an apocalyptic scenario. And then to find out that I was right, but not the who, and like figuring out that like Titans were this race of people basically, like, people like Eren who could turn into Titans, and that they found a way to turn people into Titans, and that all the Titans on their island, because at the same time I'm wondering, like, how do these people, do people like die and then just become like, they come back as Titans or something? Like, is it something in their bodies? Because Eren can use it. Can anybody do that? And it turns out that no, it's just a bunch of Eldian Empire people, a bunch of air quotes criminals, to this Empire Marley. So basically, Eldia is the empire that used to exist, that ruled the world and had Titans. There was the king. He swore off violence and he secluded his people in the walls, which are made out of Titans.
So that at the end of season 1, like after the credits, and you see like the Titan
at the end of season 1, I loved that.
So I didn't see it when I first watched it. I was like, I didn't see that as a reveal. I just saw that as like oh hey, thanks for watching the season. Here's a Titan. I didn't actually think that was like part of the story.
I thought, like, dude, I'm like, the Titans are in the fucking city, and like that blew my mind, dude. Like that was like, and then when season 2 starts, and they're like, why is there a Titan in the wall? And like, everybody just being like, yo, what the hell? Why? And it just looks around at them, and it's just like, oh hey, like it doesn't say anything, but it's just like looking at them, like, would you shut up? I'm trying to sleep in here. But just like, I thought that was the one thing that kind of like, I didn't like season 1 the first time I watched it. I thought Eren was like whiny and annoying, and he kind of stays that way through season 2. He gets a lot better in season 3, and he gets even better in season 4. Because I like that he's just not like, he's very soft spoken now. Unless he's like murderous, and that's okay. Murderous Eren is pretty okay.
It's a show where the main protagonist can both win best protagonist and best antagonist over the course of the show.
Yes. He is both the best and worst character in the show. And sometimes he's the worst for the things he does, not because he's a bad character.
Yeah, he is a better antagonist than a protagonist.
I agree.
I will say.
I agree with that.
Very strongly. Yeah.
But so the basic gist of it is there's the Eldia Empire, which used to be all the Titans and stuff. And then the people of the world finally, over time developed technology that allowed them to better combat the Titans, which made them more vulnerable. So what they did is, in order to preserve their lifestyle, they were like, okay, we're going to, there's the 9 Titans that they've kind of scattered around, that, Eldians can be reborn as them every, so many years. Like the Titans only live for 13 years. If nobody takes on that Titan, a new Eldian will be born with the ability of that Titan, whether it's the attack, the armored, the female.
Right. And what's the name? It's like the 13 Titans, like the King Titans.
Wasn't
What's
it
the
9?
name
I
for
thought
the
there were
specific
9.
ones? Or was it the 9? Yeah, it was the 9.
I think it's the 9. It's always the 9.
Yeah, it's always the 9.
It's Elder
the
Scrolls are the
99.
9. Destiny's the 9. It's always 9.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can pull that up.
Titans.
So basically, again, they secluded themselves on the island, and then the king.
Okay.
Was I right?
Yeah, it's just the 9 Titans.
Okay, I thought I was just clarifying. I wanted to make sure I was correct when I said that.
Yeah, I just thought there was a different name for them, but
it's the 9. It's the 9 Titans, and then there's the founder is one of them. Correct? Or is the founder a separate? Okay.
Yes.
So hold on. I'm
wait,
trying to remember.
No, you're totally right. Yes, the founding Titan is one of the 9. Yes.
So there's the founding Titan. There's the cart Titan, the female Titan, the armored, the colossal, the jaw. Wait, I have 7. Okay, hold on. Start over. Founding.
Yep.
Attack. Armored, colossal, female.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Cart. Jaw. There's the silvery bitch. I don't remember the name of that one because they weren't there very long. You know which one I'm talking about? The one that forms like remotely. What's the name of that one?
That's the Warhammer Titan.
Warhammer Titan. One more. Fuck me.
Yep. It's. Do you want me to give you a hint?
Yes.
It's the one that blew everyone's minds in season 2 at the beginning in episode 1 of season 2.
Oh, the Beast Titan. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Hey, I got it.
The other Jaeger.
Yes, the other Jaeger. So those dudes still exist. So the big powerful nation now is Marley. Marley has dedicated their lives to defeating the Titans at the cost of, so they have advanced their technology so much that they are excellent at waging war against Titans to the detriment of their ability to wage war against the rest of humanity. So they have kind of been like, okay, we've got the Titans on the ropes. They now have Titans that fight for them. So like when the armored and colossal Titan and female Titans are supposed to be attacked, and the jaw is supposed to be there as well, they're all supposed to attack. They're going to bust down the walls, and they're going to ensure the Eldians are, within the walls are killed. And so they're fighting for Marley, but Marley realizes that, like, okay, we're also using these Titans to wage war, but other nations are getting good at killing Titans, but they're also getting really good at killing us. So they have also come to rely on the power of the Titans. And so they're like, the only way we're going to save ourselves, because the world kind of hates them because they've been abusing the power of the Titans they have to kind of control the global power. So the world is kind of pissed at them. So they're like, the only way we can kind of protect ourselves while we catch up or while we continue to advance our technology is if we go and defeat the Eldian Empire. If we go and we get the founder back and then we control all of the 9 Titans, we're going to rid the world of this scourge, which everyone's going to love us for doing that.
Yeah, and I kind of also got a read, especially from I'm blanking on her name, the little girl who killed Potato Girl,
killed Sasha,
the little girl from Marley.
Gabi.
Gabi. In my read from the Eldians within the Marleyan Empire was that once this was accomplished, once like the island was taken down, the mission that Reiner and just blanking on everyone's
Bertold
on everyone's name
and Annie.
Thank you, Bertold. Yeah, like their mission to basically take everyone out on that island. My understanding was the remaining Eldians within the Marleyan Empire, that would allow them to not be basically like second-class citizens, even though that would never happen. Like that's their belief.
Once they claim
to. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was gonna say, I think once they claimed the Founding Titan, they were going to use the Founding Titan. I think they were going to control the Founding Titan to ensure that they controlled all Titans. And then they would have controlled succession at that point, which means they could know who, okay, like there's no chance that another Eldian is going to get this Titan. I know the Eldians hoped that they were going to, get out. They weren't going to get out. They were all going to
It was
die.
never going to happen.
Once they
no.
controlled the Founding Titan, they were going to whittle it down to those 9, and then they were going to let them die off. That's how it was going to happen. There was no way the Eldians get out of this. But the Eldians also hate, the island dwellers of Paradis. That's the island they live on. So, like, they've been the thing that blows my mind is they've been living there for 100 years, and they have no contact with the outside world, and they just think that the whole world is Titans now. And it's so funny because Marley just keeps bringing Eldian prisoners to Paradis, keeps injecting them with spinal fluid and turning them into Titans, which in turn, the Titans start gravitating towards the walls. So the Eldians are trying to use Titans to kill them. That's why this island is infested with Titans. And like the understanding, because in season 1, they talk about Titans and they're like, yeah, they eat people. They have an insatiable desire to eat people, but they just spit them back out. They don't digest them. They don't need them for nourishment. They're just eating. And it makes perfect sense when you understand how you transfer a Titan's power is someone who has Eldian blood, has been activated as a Titan, eats somebody with one of the Titan's powers. They become one of the 9 and they regain their human form and the ability to turn back into a Titan. And like, it makes perfect sense now why they're constantly trying to eat people. I still, like, part of me is a little confused because that bearded dude totally eats Eren. And, Eren turns into a Titan, so I guess that's why he doesn't get digested. So I guess that's how he avoids. He didn't die when he got eaten.
Yeah, he didn't. That's
so
why.
that's the only way he could have survived. But like, that's also such like a crazy thing where it's like, Eren totally almost fucked everything up. Like right off the rip by getting eaten. And then, he ends up turning into a Titan. But like, it's so like, there's so much of the show that doesn't make any sense. And it's not supposed to make sense until you see and understand why it makes sense. And it's just like, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Like the show, when it starts explaining shit, it's just like, oh my God, that explains everything. There are so many revelations, especially in like season 3, where it's just like, oh, that's why they do this, and that's why they do this, and that's why they did this, and oh my God.
Yeah, and that's what I was like terrified of, is once I started rewatching it, I had gotten through like, I think I'd just finished season 1 again for the second time. And I texted Chris, and I was like, because at this point he was caught up to whatever the weekly dub was. So
I was on like 83 or 84, I think, at that point. No, I must have been on like 85, I think, because I had to. You finished it the week I watched 86.
Okay, and I watched it in like a week. Yeah. So,
dude, because it's such a bingeable show, Chris, dude. It's so good.
I texted Chris and I was like, do we get any answers? And he was like, yes, just the answers will come, just wait. And I think you specifically said just like season 3. That's
season 3 is
when
the
we
magic.
Start to get some answers. And season 3 is like, season 1 is over here, season 2 is over here, and then season 3 just goes, and it's like seeing a whole new world.
In my mind, season 3 is like a 10 out of 10 season of show. Because
it's incredible.
It is just it still manages to introduce new characters, and like all the while it's really still fleshing out this main cast of characters, but it's also bringing in these new characters. It's concluding arcs for some characters. I think Levi is at his absolute best in season 3. Like, I fucking love that moment where they're just like, where Ervin's just like, we're gonna charge, we're gonna fucking charge these dudes and we're gonna fire flares. And it's just like, what's that gonna do? Nothing. But Levi's gonna do it. And so he sacrifices the whole fucking scout regiment. And the Beast Titan's just like throwing shrapnel at them, and he's just like, I'll fucking kill you. I don't care about your goddamn smoke. And then like he's just like, well, that was wasteful. And he looks over, he's like, huh, why are they dead? And then he sees Levi grapple onto him. He's like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Levi
and of course
tears up his arm with some fucking spiral shit. And
spirals.
Dude, and he just fucking destroys his arm in his first attack. And he's just like, I'm going to protect I can't, fuck. And so he basically almost dies. Cart Titan saves him. He's just like, kill that bastard. And Levi's like, you're fucking running? You're fucking running? He's like, there's no way he'll catch up. Levi is right the fuck there. Killed all those Titans. Like, dude. Levi is
and of course, out of that cavalry charge, the one person who lives is a jerk.
The two people who lived. Because Erwin is too stubborn to die. That man, the coolest scene in the whole show, you cannot change my mind. The coolest scene in the whole, the coolest episode in the whole show, I think that's all the last episode of season 2, is when Erwin, he's leading the charge and the Titan comes out and rips his arm, like grabs him by the arm and rips him off the horse. And everybody's like, Commander Erwin. He's just like, I said advance, god damn it. Like, I'm like, holy shit, this dude is so fucking cool. Oh my god. I'm like, he's the new best character in the whole show. Like, come on. This dude's just like, he's right there. Go get him.
To this day, I'm still 50-50 on whether or not I would have wanted Erwin to live over Armin.
I know,
I'm still
dude.
50-50 on it.
I mean, he told him no. We all know Erwin told him no.
Yeah.
Erwin would not have wanted to be a Titan. I think that would have killed him a little inside. Like, as much as it killed Armin, like, I think it would have been worse with Erwin, because he would have just been like, so this is what I've been reduced to. He's like, I didn't need this. He's like, I'm a leader of men. About, like, I can't do that as a Titan.
And talk about, like, Armin's hero moment. That whole plan to take down the Colossal Titan was all him, and he stayed in there and got charred to a crisp.
Oh my god, dude, that was brutal to watch.
Yeah, it was. Oh. And then, but at the same time, you're like, in season 4, you're like, oh, thank God they did save Armin, because he gets shot in the face. And it's literally, he's just like,
the ending of that episode, the music, his face, everything, haunting, dude.
Yeah.
Like, everyone's face. Attack on Titan. Everyone is gross in this show. Every fucking person is gross in this show, because this show is so good at showing you someone's insides with their face. And I don't mean like physical, like gore, but showing like their true like personality, their misery, their fucking hatred, and the way they like contort people's faces, the way they draw them with like the dark lines and shit. And like when what's her face like looks down on Armin in that one episode, she's like, please go save him. You know, it's just like her eyes are wide and fucking dead. And just like, dude, like, the way this show is drawn and animated is like, I've never seen anything like it. There's no other show that looks like Attack on Titan does. And the gross, like, the uncanny, like, humanity that you see in the Titans, and like the way they just stand there and they lean back and they smile and they're just like, I'm gonna eat you. And like, dude, the Titans are like grotesque. They look so human and real, and like, but they're not. And it's just, it's incredible, and I'm uncomfortable. It makes you uncomfortable to watch, but that's the point, and they nail it. Like,
and just like and like showing that humanity, especially in season 3 and 4, where the monsters stop really becoming the Titans as much as humanity, as they start to have like infighting. But like that scene when they're trying to get the boat going, and Armin and Connie are attacking their two friends from the scout regiment at the end of that dock, and they're trying to, because they have the explosives hooked up to it, and they're trying to wrestle that away.
Yeah.
And what?
No. I was looking at you because I thought your video was lagging for a second.
Oh, gotcha.
No, you're good.
But like they're trying to wrestle the plunger away, and they're just like, but all four of them are like, we don't want to hurt each other, like we're friends, like please stop. And then eventually one of them shoots Armin in the face, and like you see him bleeding with his jaw hanging off, and you're like, oh god, jeez.
But he's
And
looking,
it's just like,
looking at him with this face of like, please don't do this. And
yeah,
like the guy is just
no,
frozen. And then the other Connie just fucking finally, like, Connie has his moment where he just snaps, and he's just like, I think this was the moment where Connie became fully committed to the cause.
Yes, 100%.
Where
100%.
he gets the dude's gun, blasts him in the face 6 times, and then shoots that other guy, and he's just like, I didn't want to have to do this. I didn't want to do this. And like Connie just wants his mom back and everything, who is now a Titan, thanks to the Beast Titan. Oh my god, it's fucking so good, dude.
And just like in like we touched on earlier, like the callbacks. Literally, the Titan that ate Aaron's mom is his stepmom. it's like
no, his half mother.
His half mother or whatever.
It'd be yeah, that one would be half mom. Yeah, but yeah, like it's Grisha's first wife.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh jeez, because when you see like in the flashbacks, you see her turn into a Titan, and you immediately recognize it.
Actually, no, I think you're right.
Oh
my
god,
it doesn't matter, but I think you were correct.
Matter.
Yeah.
But
like, seeing,
but like
seeing
you see her turn into that Titan, and you're like, oh my god, Jesus, fucking what?
And then like at the end of season 2, she shows up again, and Eren, like trying to protect Mikasa, just fucking swings at her, and he activates the founding Titan's power.
Yep.
And all the Titans start attacking this Titan, and you're just thinking, oh shit, Eren has unlocked his potential. No, it's because she's royal blood and can access the founding Titan, which is why Zeke is so important, aka the Beast Titan. We're all over the place, but the show is all over the place, and it's great. I love it.
Yep.
But like that moment where like you're thinking like, oh, Eren finally figured out how to use the power of the founder, and it's just like, no, not really. It's because that, that Titan happened to be royalty, and he had like, that's how they all figured out how that power was going to work, and that plays a big part in season 3 with like Historia and stuff like that. But that moment too was like fucking dope when Eren like gets control of the Titans. Like that was so cool. I think that's the same episode with Erwin, and that's why I'm saying like I think that might be my favorite episode of the whole show, because like it was so cool.
Yeah, can we talk about Eren's infiltration into the Marleyan Empire?
It was so good. The first time I saw him, I was like, I think that looks like Eren, and it sounds like Eren, and like I was like, maybe it's not him. Like at first, I wasn't fully convinced it was him, and then the more it goes on, I'm like, oh, that's absolutely Eren, and I'm like, what is he doing? What is going on?
Yeah, and you see like his flashback where he's literally like sawing off his leg.
Oh my god!
So, and I'm like,
he's got
god,
he's like biting down on something so he doesn't scream.
Yep. And it's like that whole like the entire like infiltration into Marley by the squad was just, that was amazing. That was,
and just Eren, like so just seeing in season 4, Eren is just at like the peak of his power, because he's transforming like multiple times. He transformed. There's this dude, this Tiber guy, and he's just like, we're going to declare war against Paradis. And he's like, this is a declaration of war. And everybody's cheering. And then Eren scream, transform. And just like he comes out, grabs the dude, tosses him in the air, and eats him in front of everyone. All these world powers.
Yeah, it's literally a callback to season 1 where he's on top of the wall and he's like, we're prepared to take on the Titans, and then boom, the Colossal Titan appears right behind him. It's a callback to season 1.
I didn't even think about that.
Except he's the Titan now. Yeah,
oh my god, dude, that's so. And then like he's sitting there, they take him down. He gets out, and he just Mikasa finds him, and she's like, "Eren, come home." He's like, "No, I can take the." if you cover me, I can get the Warhammer. I'm gonna eat the Warhammer. And it's just like, you're gonna what? And he just transforms again, fucking fights the Warhammer as much as he can, gets out, transforms again. Fucking, he's just transforming like 3 times in this fight. Then finally eats the fucking Warhammer, and he's just like, deuces. Get the fuck out.
Yeah. And and then one thing that I wasn't expecting, there were a lot of things in the show I did not kind of see coming or expect, but one thing is how we kind of briefly talked about this off camera, how Grisha's kind of like a Hohenheim light from Full Metal Alchemist, where it's the father of the protagonist who's doing things behind the scenes that are shaping things, but he's not really shaping things.
He's not the one doing
time travel in the show. But like Zeke and like his absolute commitment to wanting to help Eren because they both share a father, and
he's
Zeke is
convinced.
Just like, I know.
I was gonna say, he's convinced that Grisha has like poisoned his mind.
Yeah, and he's like, he did it to me, and he's done it to you, but you don't realize it yet. We are brothers. I'm going to save you, and he sticks to it. And
so,
like
I think we should preface this real quick. I'm not trying to derail your thought, and I'm gonna hand it right back to you. We should preface this that at this point they have finally reunited on Parody, and their plan, as far as Zeke is aware, he needs Eren. They've met in Marley, but they couldn't execute their plan at that time because they needed to be on Parody to do it. Because they didn't want, like, they can't take their Titan forms in the middle of Marley. So they are like, okay, we're gonna meet on Parody. Eren leads the Jaegerists. He leads a separatist group, and he starts taking over the island. And their plan, as far as Zeke knows, is they're going to euthanize all the Eldians so that they cannot have children, and therefore they cannot pass on the Titan gene. And eventually all the Eldians will die out, and that's going to be the end of Titans. Eren has been playing up to that this whole time, but he's like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to start the rumbling, and I'm going to wipe out all other life on the planet except this island. And so Zeke has finally met up with him. He had his doubts about Eren, and he set Eren up to betray him. Eren did betray him, and now Zeke is like, this isn't your fault. I'm going to help you. Ross, please continue.
Yeah, and just like, and Zeke was in control in the, I forget, was it, a little bit of the context is lost on me now because it's been a little bit, but when it comes to this kind of stuff, Chris has the steel trap for a memory. When they're like in the like spirit realm,
I don't remember what it's called, but I think it's like the realm of Ymir or something like that. Like, it's where Ymir exists. So it's a place only Eldians can go.
Yeah, and like it was at the point where
the source of the founding Titans' power.
Yeah, and it's like it got to a point where Zeke was like in control, like he was ready to go, but he was still so convinced and wanted Eren by his side so badly that he starts taking him through memories of Grisha.
I think he wanted as like a final blow to Grisha. He wanted to be like, look, I want to convince you for my own sake, because I need you to be committed to this plan. We need to be on the same page. But also, I want to stick it to Grisha to prove that, like, he can't control us. I think is the gist of kind of what he was going for.
And then it backfired in his face because you find out Eren's been freaking time traveling and telling his dad what to do.
So lo and behold, we find out the true power of the Attack Titan.
What?
It is not just martial arts, because Eren becomes pretty good at that in his Titan form. The Attack Titan has the ability to see the memories of all other Attack Titans, past, present, or future. Which means his father, Grisha, who possessed the Attack Titan, could see the future of what Eren was going to do, which gave Eren the ability as the Attack Titan to influence the past and alter Grisha's path to where Eren wanted him to be. So Eren is talking to Grisha in this mindscape kind of thing, and he's telling him, you can't give up, you have to keep pushing, do it for me. And like Grisha's just like, I don't want to do it, and he's like, you have to, you know what happens next. And like it gets
And you
to the
just see
point where
Zeke's face like, oh.
Zeke's like, what the hell are you doing? And like at one point, Grisha sees Zeke. He's like, oh my God, Zeke, I'm so sorry. I never wanted this to happen to you. And like Zeke comes around. He's like, what? And he's just like, I loved you so much, Zeke. And if I could do it all over, I would do anything I could to protect you. And Zeke is just like, oh my God, Father, I'm so sorry. I love you. And he's just like, you need to stop Eren. From this point on, he's going to get everything he wants. You have to stop him. And Zeke is just like, motherfucking what?
Yeah, it's like this show has not, like, for me, it's not been a super emotional show, but that's the closest I've gotten, is that embrace with Grisha and Zeke.
Yeah,
where it's just Zeke like this cathartic, like,
oh, my dad
exhale.
loves me.
yeah, like that was a great moment.
Like seeing the picture when Zeke saw the memory of like the office, like the basement, and he sees the pictures of him, and he's just like, oh yeah, he didn't care. And then Grisha like sees him briefly, and he's just like, there's no way that's Zeke. There's no way that's my little boy. I miss my little boy. And Zeke's just like, okay, whatever, old man. And then like to get that embrace, and Grisha apologizes and everything, was like, that did hit, and it was like, oh my God. And Zeke's just like, what the hell? Why now? He's like, why now?
Yeah, right.
But the moment,
this is
that moment when he says Eren's gonna get everything he wants, and like when you realize how the Attack Titan works, and you kind of flash back to that first episode where Eren kind of has like, he wakes up startled from a nap, and you realize like, oh my God, he just saw the future. Oh my God. Like that's what started it all, is like Eren didn't know yet what he knew, but he knew everything at that point. And like, that's the thing. You don't know. Like, that kind of pulls everything into question. Was some of that an act by Eren? Like, does Eren know what he's doing the whole time?
Yeah. Or did it take a decent amount of time for him to make sense of all the memories?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, how much of it is genuine and how much of it is not? Yeah.
At which point, like, is it, do you think, is it after the church sequence in season 2 that he kind of figures it all out? Or like, by the end of season 3, he definitely knows what he's doing. He 100% knows. Like, once they've cleared the island and he's like now 16 or whatever, by that point, he absolutely knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I think for me, what I read as, oh, now he knows everything, is after the time skip.
Okay.
I think it was the time skip. Because like from like pre-time skip to post-time skip, like
he's a different person.
He's completely different person. Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess the basement is maybe where he figured it out. Because that's when he started getting the visions of Grisha. So maybe it was the basement. But like, part of me wants to think like, yo, what if Kid Eren like knew?
Yeah.
What if he knew and he didn't want to believe it, and like, but he knew? What if older Eren is talking to him like, hey, you gotta just fucking do this, man. Fuck what they said, just do this.
Yeah. And remind me, because again, I have the world's worst memory, especially even when it comes to major plot points and characters. At the end of season 4, part 2, where is Zeke at? Is he dead? I can't remember.
No, so he almost killed Levi when he blew up the Thunder Spear. But remember that Titan that survived earlier in the woods came out and put him inside of it.
Right.
So Zeke is recovered, and someone found him at some point, I think.
I'm just trying to remember where he was at when
he's still on parody. I think he's still on parody.
Okay, gotcha.
So he's alive. He is alive. So he's going to show up at some point. I'm just wondering how he's going to do. I wonder if maybe he hooked up with Marleyan forces and was just like, hey, take me back.
Yeah, I mean, does the show end with...
Actually, no, because, hold on, no. You're right, because where is he? Because, no, that was before he met him in the city. Right, because he left that and he met Eren in the city. And then Eren got the Founding Titan power. I don't remember what happened. I think he is still alive. I think he might be captured by the Jaegerists. I think the Jaegerists have him.
Oh, the Jaegerists.
I'm almost positive he's still alive. Dude, this unpopular opinion, I like Flock. I hate Flock.
I hate Flock.
I hate Flock.
I can't
Listen,
stand him.
I hate Flock, but I like that his character is intelligent. I like that the whole time he was fighting for Erwin because he's like, fuck your feelings, fuck your friend, revive Erwin, give him the Colossal. And then like he hated them because he's like, you guys are fucking stupid, you're a clique, whatever. And then Eren wins them over, and he's so devoted to the cause that he's like, when Armin shows up, he's like, hey, we got to take this boat, they're getting away, we got to fucking stop them. And he's just like, that doesn't make any sense. Like he takes the time, he's pacing, he's thinking, he's like, that wouldn't make any sense if they went here and did that. He's like, no, kill those assholes. They're lying. Like, I like that he's intelligent enough to like think the situation through, and he's just like, that's totally like factually incorrect. Like, I like that his character is awful but intelligent, and like it kind of like redeems him for me, where I'm like, I like that he's not stupid. Because there's so many times where the characters are just like, do what he says, we gotta pursue, and then they think about it after. He's smart. He does it first. He thinks and then acts.
So my hopes for a couple of situations. One, I hope Flock gets. Nope, never mind. That
Flock
character
is going to
died
get
at the end
wrecked.
of. I was gonna.
Flock's
Yeah,
not alive.
I was like in my mind. I was like, I wish Keith Shaddis could have killed him, but Keith Shaddis is dead.
Dude, he's so cool. His whole story, like how. Can we take a moment just to talk about him?
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, like, so the trainer, the guy who trains them, and seemingly the biggest asshole on the planet in season 1, the trainer, like, it turns out that he was friends with Grisha when they were younger, before Eren was born, and they both had the hots for the same lady, and she ended up picking Grisha, and he held a grudge for the longest time. He was on that first expedition that we see the scouts returning from when Eren is a kid. The one where basically, God, that expedition's fucked up too. They sent 250,000 people, was it, I think? Because they didn't have enough food. Didn't they send like an absurd amount of people on this expedition, and like almost none of them returned? Because they were trying to cull humanity, so they had enough resources to survive. So they sent like 200,000 people on a death march. I'm pretty sure it was like 250,000 people. But they were like, they had to die because if they didn't, we didn't have enough food. And like that to me is like crazy. But anyway, he comes back and he like confronts her, and she says something to him, and he's just like, oh damn, I've been wrong all this time. And so when he sees that Eren is trying to be a scout, he does everything he can to sabotage him. So like his broken gear and stuff like that is all him. He broke it on purpose, hoping Eren would fail, and then Eren just kept succeeding at every turn. And then like it got to the point where they're like questioning him, trying to figure out what happened. And like I think he knew that Eren was, if I remember correctly, he knew that Eren was a Titan, or he believed that Grisha did something to him to give him his powers. So when he became a Titan, he wasn't surprised. Shaddis wasn't surprised when Eren turned, because I think he expected that. And so the whole time he's kind of been looking out for Eren. Also, you want to talk about another unsung hero? What's his name? Dude, the oh god, the wall police guy.
Describe him.
Oh my god, the yellow hair guy.
Oh,
Johannes? Is it Johannes or Hannes?
The guy with the mustache.
Yes, who saves him in the
blonde
first
hair
episode.
mustache guy.
Yes,
I think it's Hamas.
Hamas?
Hammes, I think.
He is low key like one of the best characters in the whole show. Because that dude exemplifies. Again, this opinion is not entirely mine because I watched a video about this. So credit to whatever video I watched. I'm so sorry, I don't remember. He is the perfect example of humanity within the wall, because he's all Hannes, yeah. He's all talk and no action, because the first time he comes face to face with the Titan that just ate Eren's mom, he's like, I'll take it down, draws his swords. He's like, I'm ready. Looks that Titan in the eye, gets that awkward looking smile. He puts his shit away, grabs them, and books it. And he's just like, fuck this, I'm out. Screw you guys, I'm going home. But like, and that eats away at him when he realizes that like I'm just a coward, I'm all talk. And then like later in the series, like when wasn't it the end of season 2? Is that when he bites it, or is it season 3?
I think it's 2, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember, but like when he finally does go out, like he goes out fighting because he's just like, I'm not gonna let these kids show me up anymore. Like he's a really good mentor to Eren and Mikasa, and he becomes a really important mentor for them, and he also becomes like kind of a father figure in a lot of ways. And like he regrets how things went that day, and he wishes that he could have, taken her down. It ends up being a really good thing that he didn't. Because then things play out differently if he doesn't, if he does take that Titan down. But boy, it's just like he was really good by the end. Like his arc, like because they set him up to be like an unlikable ass, but by the time he's done, you like really come to respect him as a person. Same thing with you remember his name better than I do. I don't remember his name. The trainer.
Oh, Keith Shottis.
Keith Shottis, yes. He, Shottis by the end of the show is like he's a damn hero. In episode that's 86, I think, right? Is when they blow up the boat. Yes, 86 is when they blow up the boat. Yeah, when he goes down, dude, and that Marleyan general. He ends up being a pretty upstanding guy by the end of it.
He was cool.
Like he takes a real turn. Like he's just like, screw you guys, you island devils, you all suck. You all deserve to die. And then he's just like, look, I'm sorry. You're right. You're not responsible for this. Please help me. And it's just like, is he just doing this? And then like, he's like, you guys go, I'm gonna go die for this cause. And it's just like, shit.
And
like,
it's literally him and Shottis doing like
Shottis
the
blows up a
meme
train.
of like
He blows up a fucking train. Like the reinforcements, the Jaeger's reinforcements are coming. Their train blows up, and everybody's like, "How the fuck did that happen?" And then here comes Keith Shottis. He's just like, "Yo, what's up? I'm here to save the day."
it's literally on the boat before it blows up. They do the Rocky 3 meme of like the hand like grab both sides, and it's like, yes.
Yeah, they're just like, we
together,
got
old men.
We're going
together.
down. It's like, what's your name? It's Keith Shottis. What's your name? Just some Marleyan general guy. I don't fucking remember his name. But
yeah,
like,
and then in the background, you just start hearing, "I will go down with this ship." But I see the ending happening one of two ways. I feel like it either ends with Zeke killing Eren or with Armin and Mikasa killing Eren. I don't see Eren making it out or
Levi.
being redeemed.
I think if anybody kills Eren, it's Levi.
I feel like having either Mikasa and Armin or Zeke just has a way more personal touch to it.
So if one of them does it, it's because of Levi. Levi is going to do the sacrifice that sets them up. Levi is not going out of this fight without he is getting in that fight. 100%. Levi gets involved in that and causes serious damage.
I just think narratively it makes sense.
Of him.
Yeah, I think they already know that they have to do. I don't think they need anything else from Levi. Like they know at the end of season 4 part 2.
I'm not saying whether that or not they know. I'm just saying that Levi is going to create the opening.
Gotcha.
He is going to do the damage that allows them to finish the job because he's too goddamn good.
I love Levi. There's no way he should have lived. Zero chance he should have lived.
Again, though, he gets it from Erwin. Erwin shouldn't have lived either. They're both too stubborn to die.
Yes, that was a point-blank missile in his face. He should not have lived.
I mean, he's pretty good. I mean, he could have dodged it a little bit, probably protect himself a bit. You know, I don't know. I knew he wasn't dead though. Somebody spoiled that on Twitter at one point. I think I saw it. Where like, oh, Levi died, and I was just like, I looked at that and I was like, there's no fucking way Levi dies, because they were like, yeah, season 4 part 1, Levi dies, and I'm just like, no, I don't believe you. And then like I see it and I'm watching the scene and I'm like, he doesn't look dead enough. And then when she finds him and she goes like this, she's like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, he's alive. And she dives into the water with him, and they're just like, oh, she's getting away with the body. I'm like, no, he's alive. He's alive. There's no other explanation. Sure as shit, Levi's alive. You can't spell alive
Yeah.
without the letters that spell Levi.
Thank you. Yeah, I just for all of our listeners out there, neither of us are manga readers for this, so we know that the series has finished, but we do not know how it ends.
No.
So I think in this case, since there is still more, I'm glad we're doing it this way. I think for future spoiler casts where the thing is complete, I think potentially live streaming it and getting questions in could be fun.
Yeah.
But I'm glad we're not doing it for this one because I know someone would come in and just.
Oh yeah, someone's gonna come in and just be like, "Well, in the next part, this is gonna happen," or they're gonna be like, "I'm not gonna spoil anything, but Chris is on to something," like.
Yeah.
Or somebody's gonna drop the thing. It's like, "Oh, you're close to what happens," and it's just like, "Motherfucker, shut up! You're banned. I don't care who you are."
It's uranium.
A 59-month sub, dead.
Yep. Oh yeah,
man.
it's
But,
just
there's so much to talk about, and we could ramble on for hours just talking about this show. But I think we touched on a lot of the big touch, the key. I think the way Eren gets the full control of the Founding Titan is really cool because you need royal blood, but Eren and Zeke is just like, Ymir, go do this. I don't need you, Eren. I can just do this. Go euthanize all the Eldians. And Eren rips his hands off to chase after her, and he just stops her, and he's just like, you don't have to listen to them anymore. You don't have to be the thing. You don't have to be a slave to them. Give me your power and I'll do what has to be done. And you just see Ymir crying, and all of a sudden Eren, who was just decapitated by Gabi in the real, in the real time. This is all happening over seconds that they're in this realm. Eren's neck just shoots out this fucking bone structure thing. Eren comes fucking back to life as this insane bone monster. And oh my God, you see it at the end of the episode, dude. Oh my God. So he activates the rumbling. He takes down all the walls. He doesn't just take down one wall, not two, every fucking wall. Every Titan he has at his disposal, he sends it. And he just says,
and it
I'm
takes
going to kill
days.
I'm going to kill everyone on the fucking planet. I never knew I needed to see Titans swimming until 87. That was really cool. And just seeing them swim by those boats and just the steam decimate them. But when they make landfall and they just start walking and it's just these dead looks and they're just marching. And when you see the zoomed out shot of just the steam and the carnage as they're just literally trampling everything. They're not swinging. They're not punching. They're just walking and destroying everything in their path. And Eren is just like, I'll kill all of them. Every last one, world over. And it's just that's the last line of the season.
Yeah, I guess one question I have, they might have answered it and I might have just missed it. But the Colossal Titans, one of the 9 Titans, but there's millions of Colossal Titans that were in the walls.
They're slightly different because remember, Colossal Titan's taller than them because the Colossal Titan can see over the wall.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are pure Titans, I think. They don't have other forms. They're just under the control of the founder. So those are just kind of, I think, pure-blooded Titans. Pure-blooded Eldians, I guess. Go ahead.
No, finish your point because
I was just going to say, I think the thing with the Colossal is because it's one of the 9, it is the tallest Titan. So it has the great, it is tall and its ability, its steam and everything. I think that's just what makes it unique is that it towers over all other Titans. And so that's part of what makes it strong is that it is the biggest Titan.
And also one plot point we did skip over. The Zeke juice wine that kept everyone hostage.
He kept everyone hostage because he gave everybody wine that had his spinal fluid, which once someone of Eldian blood consumes his spinal fluid, which is also what they inject into Armin to make him a Titan, it allows him to turn them into Titans. And he does it to the people guarding him with Levi. And he's just like, there's no way Levi is going to kill his friends. And then Levi just shows up. You just see a wisp, a shadow. And then fucking he comes out. He's like, you thought I wouldn't kill my friends? They were Titans. I murder Titans. He's like, they weren't going to stop me, and I'm going to make you pay. And I was just like, yo, why is he so cool?
There's
so many moments in this show where I'm like, why is this person so fucking cool?
I was bummed out when Old Man General Jenkins got turned into a Titan, because I liked his character a lot.
Yeah, when what's his name? I know his name and I'm spacing on it.
I think it's Old Man General Jenkins.
It might be Old Man General Jenkins, but
Old Man General Attack. I'm terrible with names in all shows.
He's the leader of the
Dot Pixis.
Commander Pixis.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Pixis.
When Pixis turns, and then like Pixis. It's so much cooler though, because now at this point you have the context, obviously, that humans are turned into Titans. But when you see their faces and the people are looking and they're like, that's Commander Pixis. And then like now they know who they're killing. And it's just like, I know that dude. Like it's so bad.
Yeah, it is.
Like it's so much harder dark. When you know. But Levi is just like, they're not my friends anymore. Like they're Titans. Yeah. And I'm gonna kill you for that, by the way. And Levi, again, sticks a thunder spear in him. He's like, if you move the wrong way, you're going to blow up, so go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Oh my God. The show.
And then he does it and he's like, touche.
Good. The show is so, and then like Hanji is so cool. Yeah. Like she loses an eye in the fight, like to take back. When does she lose the eye? Is it when they're taking back Maria? Yeah, she lost it in the explosion. She lost it in the fight, I think, with the armored Titan at Maria. Yes.
Okay.
I am 99% certain she lost it taking back Walmaria, because that's when she got promoted to head of the scout regiment by Erwin.
Yeah.
God, she's so cool. Like she's great, and like seeing them. There is like a brief little like feel good moment just before we see the rumbling in 87 when like they're in Marley for the first time, and they learn about ice cream, and like there's a part where they see a car for the first time and they're like, is that one of the metal horses I heard about? And Levi's like, we better stop them or they're going to start to try and feed it carrots. And Jan Capone is just like, oh, there's no way they're going to wait. Are they buying carrots? That's like one of my favorite scenes. He's just like, his face goes crazy. Are they buying carrots? They're so stupid. And then they get drunk with like the refugees.
Just... yeah, that was great. I love that.
With the refugees, they're just having a great time. They leave. They're like, "Come on, go buy more alcohol. Come back." They're just all gone. Levi shows up and he's just like, "Oh, come on,
and
guys." It's so good.
Like the only other thing that is on my mind to really kind of just touch on is probably my favorite reveal in the show, and like it says something when it's my favorite reveal when like half of it was kind of spoiled for me already. But when Reiner and Bertolt reveal to Eren that they're the Armored and Colossal Titans, because it's such a throwaway shot. Like you see them on the right side of the screen and the camera's panning with the people who are walking to the left. And I watch it subbed. So like I was reading at the bottom and I just saw like the explanation come up and I was like, wait a second. And then I rewound. I was like, did I read that right?
So on the dub, here's the best part. So on the dub, they zoom out and they lower their volume. So it's just like they're having the conversation. It's like, Eren, I need to talk to you. But like when you hear it, it's different because like you hear it. And so the shot is zoomed out. You see them walking away. He's like, I'm the Armored Titan. Bertold here's the Colossal. And you just hear it really quiet. And like they're just talking. And then Armin turns around and like Eren's just like, nah, you're fucking with me. And he's just like, no, really, like you need to come with us. We're gonna show you, we're gonna save you. And it's just like, what? But like it's just that the way they do it is like it's such a perfect scene because they make it seem so unimportant, but really it's art. It up to that point, it's the most important thing anyone has ever said. It's like, I'm the Armored Titan, like just so casual. I'm the Armored Titan. He's the Colossal. Bertold's the Colossal, and it's just like, dude, you're just saying it.
Yeah, I think that was I literally when that happened, I verbally out loud
I
to
watched that scene
myself
multiple
alone
times.
watching. Yeah, I did too. I said out loud in my living room by myself. I literally said, "Nani?" I was like, they
Like,
really put that reveal just so like offhanded, but it was perfect.
I watched it like 6 times. I'm sitting there and I'm just like, it's just listen, I'm the armored titan. I'm just like, he's just saying it. He's not even trying to hide it anymore. And then like, dude, you know what I really like too? When their buddy, because Reiner has this problem where he's torn between his 2 existences now. He's a warrior
Yeah, yeah.
of Marley, but he's a soldier of, Parody. And so Bertold realizes that he kind of is developing this multiple personality thing. And so he always asks him,
Mhm.
and Bertold's like, "What are you, Reina?" And "What are you, Reiner?" And he's like, "I'm a warrior." And like that's how he knows he has him. But at one point, they're talking during the when Eren is trying to seal the breach in the wall, the first one, when he first became a Titan. They're talking and this dude shows up and overhears them. He's like, "Guys, what are you talking about being Titans? Like, what is this shit?" And so they hold him down and they take his gear and they leave him for a Titan to eat. And the guy's just like, "No, guys, just tell me what's wrong. I'll help you. I just need to understand." And like, he's getting eaten by a Titan, and Reiner just like, why is he getting eaten by a Titan? He's just like,
Oh, that was rough, man.
why
Oh.
is he getting eaten by a Titan? Why is this happening? And Bertold's like, what's wrong? He's like, we're soldiers, god damn it. And it's just like, oh my god, like
That was
he's
rough.
fighting himself as much as he's trying to fight this war. Oh my god, it's so good. There's so many moments.
It
And
was
like
really good.
one thing I did want to say is I like because there are moments when the show is very lighthearted. And I really appreciate that they go all the way with the lightheartedness when they do, because it's such a great
Mhm.
change of pace from how brutal this show is otherwise and unforgiving. But then, like, you have moments like that. This show is like the most like heartbreaking, like, even if it's not emotional all the time, like, it is still like just rip your heart out of your chest because it's just like, dude, like, how can they keep getting away with this? Like every time they're
Mhm.
just like they just keep destroying me more and more every time. Like God, like, and that's the thing. Like even though they're the bad guy, you see this flashback and you're just like, oh, but he is sad that he died. It's like maybe there's hope.
Yeah.
You can redeem him, maybe. And then
Yeah.
Bertold, like the silent giant the whole time, just like finally goes off and he's just like, nah, I'm done with you people. I'm just gonna end this shit. Like
Yeah.
he's the
It's
one
like
who flips
if
the
it
switch
like
the hardest.
yeah, like if there's anything the show does really well, it's making the quote unquote villain sympathetic. Like even like Zeke killed the entire scout regiment. But then you see these flashbacks with him and his father and his mother and everything like he went through as a very young kid, and you kind of get where he's coming from. You it's still messed up everything he did, but you understand it. Like I feel like in this show there are no
Everyone is gray.
just like yeah, yeah, even the villains. Like sure there will be some like just straight up like bad people, but like it's
If this was a
you
D
kind
and
of
D
root for
chart,
everyone at different points.
if this was a D&D chart, everyone would be chaotic something. There's no lawful, there's
Yes.
no true, there's just chaotic.
Hmm.
It's just
Yeah.
like there is no black and white in this show. Everyone is various shades of gray. And some people are
Oh,
more gray than others. Um but like even
oh,
Aaron, like,
and they pulled the frick. Oh yeah,
oh, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
man. I was just gonna say, and they even pulled the freaking "Would you kindly" stuff with the Ackermans
Oh
protecting
yeah.
the.
God.
Oh.
But like even Aaron, like he's like he wants to destroy the whole world, and it's like, well, the world kind of wants to destroy him, so it's really whoever finishes first. Now it's a race.
That's what
But
she
it's
said.
like that's what he's doing. He's doing to them what they were doing to him, and he's just like, why shouldn't I do
Mhm.
it? I have the power.
Yeah.
I can save the people I care about. And, which is exactly what those people are doing. It's just the needs of the few versus the needs of the many. And Eren is definitively on the sides of the few. And he also knows that the Eldians, like, he tells the Eldians, like, hey, all Eldians across the world, he's like, hey, I'm coming and I'm wiping out the planet. And so they're trying to warn them. They're like, yo, we saw this shit. He's coming. We need to do something. And they're just like, no, you're just making it up. And they're like, how are we all making this up? How are all of us making this up? Explain that. How did we all get together and figure this out? We picked up the phone. Hey, buddy, at 2:00 tomorrow, we're going to pretend we had a vision, really mess with the Marlians. Like, the Marlians are so stupid. But, like, it's just like, and Eren also knows, he's like, I'm telling you this, that I'm doing this. But he never once says, I'm going to spare you. He's just like, you guys are going to die with them because you're on their side. I'm only saving the island because the island is the only people I can trust.
Yeah, it's, I guess, unless you have more stuff to go on, I kind of gave my ending prediction. What is your ending prediction for the series?
It's hard to say because they've defied my expectations at every turn.
Yeah.
I guess, like, for me...
I mean, I feel like the biggest twist would be that Eren succeeds and the world ends, basically.
I think that's the ending I want. And I want...
Really?
I want to see them cope. I think what happens is Eren wins, he goes human again, someone kills him, and then they just kind of deal with it. So he accomplishes his goal. He comes back down and he's just like, I did it. You're free. And then, like, Levi or Mikasa just cuts his head off. Like, in an unexpected way, just cuts his head off. And then it flashes to, like, a year later and they're on parody with the survivors, like, trying to rebuild. And they're just like, it ends the way it started. We are the last of the human race. We are all that remains of the human race on this world. And it's not Titan, and it's Titans that killed them. How perfect would that be if the show ends the very way they think it started, where Titans wiped out humanity? And that's exactly what they do, but Eren did it. And it's them dealing with the fact that they're the only survivors in a world that was destroyed by them.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty good.
I was trying to think, how many more years does Eren have before he dies? From 4?
He says it when they're in Marley. So he's got less than 4 years.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So that's why I think they would just kill him, and he just wouldn't expect. He would just be. I think he would just accept it. He'd be ready to die because he's like, I did what I set out to do. Someone offs him, and he doesn't come back. But like. And, like, I think that's the thing. And then, like, it just shows the flashback. And I think you see, the Titans helping to, like, rebuild because they're just like, whatever, like, this is our life now. And so the remaining Titans are just there, like, rebuilding. And they're just like, someone else is going to inherit the founder. Someone else is going to inherit, like, these Titans. And it's like, we're rebuilding the world starting with this island. But, like, we're the last of humanity because Titans wiped everyone out. I think that would be super cool.
Yeah, I cannot wait for undisclosed date in 2023 for this final part to come out.
That's the way, because, like, as much as, like, I could see people being like, oh, that's like a shit ending, I also think, like, it's supposed to feel that way if they go that route. It's supposed to feel bad because it's not a good ending. It's the worst possible ending, and you should feel bad about it. Like, you shouldn't look at this ending and be like, wow, that was great. This was incredible. You should look at that and just be like, what the fuck? Like, I think that would just be so perfect if Eren literally got everything he wanted and then that was it. I would be all
like,
for
realistically, that. Like, in the world, in the actual world itself, like, what could possibly stop those thousands of basically Colossal Titan lights? Like,
they're gonna like dwindle them down over time.
But like, we saw, like, them come out of the wall, and it took like days for all of them to finally get off of parody. Like
I
there's
know
that many.
there has to be thousands of them, but like they're
Yeah,
gonna like slowly like take down their numbers a bit. You know, a bunch of them already died, but like the hope is that humanity can stall them long enough that the Titans that we have right now will be able to go in and slow them down. At some point, they're probably going to be reunited with Zeke, you know, because they do. I think they're going to have. I think they did capture him because Flock wants Historia to. I think they want Historia to eat Zeke. That was always the talk because they mentioned that in '87. Right. So I think if the Jaegerists caught him, they would want Historia to eat him.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Jaegerists have Zeke. So I wonder if Zeke maybe gets out and then like joins them and is just like, I don't care about you people. I just want to stop Eren. And then he's like, I'm going to do it for my father. I bet that's a thing that happens. Yeah. I'm going to do it for Grisha.
Oh man. It's just like, yeah, there's no clear way this thing's going to end.
Yo, if the Beast Titan joins them, he throws Levi at him, 100%. BT7.
Yep.
I'm going to throw. Trust me.
Yeah. It's the reverse.
Levi almost
killed him. Yeah.
It's Matthew Mercer, man. Just throw him. He's used to this. Our only option is to throw. Levi? He voices Levi and he voices the main character of Titanfall 2. Cooper.
Nice.
So, dude, come on. The only way it'd be better is if the voice of BT was Zeke, but but we're not. You know, this isn't Titanfall 2. Dude, you know what I want more than anything now, though? I wish like we could get like an Attack on Titan Gundam crossover. Imagine Gundams fighting Titans.
Yeah.
How cool would that be, dude?
I'm at the point where
like as a movie or something.
Yeah, I'm at the point where. Like, I know that Attack on Titan video game came out a couple years ago, and it was like got like 7s across the board. I'm like,
I played the first
now that I'm
one,
fully invested.
It's actually kind of fun because they nailed like the movement because like you're constantly like grappling to trees, so like you move so fast, dude. And like they all have different abilities. Like Mikasa burns more energy. And like, but they have supply troops out there. So you just go to a supply troop. They're like, here you go. And then you refill your tanks. Your blades go out. So you refill your blades in your tanks. And you're just like, whoosh. Everywhere you go.
Oh, God. Your video froze when you did that. That was perfect. Yeah, I think I'm going to pick the... It is
actually really good. If you pick it up, we should... I wish they dubbed it. I have to tell you, one of my least favorite things in the whole world... in the whole goddamn world is when these popular animes are dubbed and they don't do it for the video games. Sword Art, Attack on Titan. Like, come on, they've been dubbing the Full Metal Alchemist games were dubbed in 2000 whatever.
Yeah, and I mean,
in 2004 and whatever.
And
like,
a lot of the voice actors from the show have done voice acting for video games. It seems like a relatively easy thing to get them in, but
dude, like,
what do we know?
Oh my God, like. Mark Hamill dubbed a Yakuza game, and you can't get Bryce Peppenburg to fucking dub him in these two games. He literally read the audiobooks on Amazon. He reads the audiobooks. They're like 8 hours. You can't get him in the booth for this game? Even if they dubbed the main characters and just had bullshit for everyone else, like just get Mikasa and Armin and Eren and like kind of go from there. But like, dude, how are these games not dubbed? How? With how
Luckily
popular
for me,
they
that's
are.
not a problem.
Irrelevant. It's still, they should be dubbed. It's a crime. Dude, if they dubbed these games, I would have owned all of them.
$60.
Yeah, they don't really go on sale. There's 2 games.
No, or currently the first one is on sale for $30 on Steam.
Oh.
But then there is online co-op.
You said there is online co-op?
Yeah, this.
Yeah, there is. Yeah,
there is online co-op.
I played it with Zane on PS4.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fun.
I will
It's a good
probably.
game. And
I'll
the thing is because it's not dubbed, I just don't listen to anything, so I just spam through all the dialogue and I just whoosh. I
sure.
just rush to the whoosh.
Rush to the Whoosh. That's
It's
if
it's
that
my
could be the
favorite.
title of the episode, it would be Rush to the
Yeah, I
Whoosh.
know.
But I think that's all I have to say on Attack on Titan. It's great. It's a modern classic. It will go down as long as it sticks to the landing, which I haven't heard that the manga. I don't know anything about the manga ending, but I haven't heard that it flubs it really badly. So I'd be surprised with the rising quality of the show consistently if they did flub the ending. It will be one of the greats
I think
of all time.
even if it did, I feel like the anime would have fixed it. That's usually what you do is if the manga
Yeah.
drops the ball, you fix it with the anime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or in the case of like a Full Metal Alchemist and they kind of flub the ending, you just do what the manga did the second time.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
make a good ending. I mean, I think the ending for the original was fine, but
Yeah.
oh man. So Ross, let's end this let's end this fun. What are you watching post Attack on
Sure.
Titan?
Well, my friend, let's see. I'm just hold on. So I watched all of Monster, which is I think it's a 2004 series. It's like a thriller murder mystery series with, I will say, like, there's no supernatural aspects to it. Like it's a realistic like crime drama type deal. Um, I would say it has one of the top 3 villains in all of anime and manga in it. Um, it's incredible. Like that
All
show
right.
is super. Like the show is longer than it needs to be. Like it's 74 episodes, and it seems like it's jumping around all the time, and then it brings all the disparate elements together. It just takes a really long time, but once it does, it doesn't stop. And the English dub is very very good. Um, so I watched all of Monster. I'm currently also watching. Um, uh, haven't you heard? I'm Sakamoto, which is the story of this high school student who is super cool and super stylish, and everyone tries to like screw around with him, but he just like solves problems in the most ridiculous way possible and becomes like the most loved person. Like bullies trapped him in a classroom and started a fire, and so he goes over and he starts like shuffling back and forth on the floor, and the bullies are trapped in there with him, and they're like, oh, he's trying to put out the fire by just the sheer wind that he's like whipping up, because it's like this is not a realistic show. So he's just like starting to go like super speed back and forth, and it's and then one of the teachers come up and like get into the room, and they're like, no, he wasn't trying to take the fire out at all. He was just making noise because we're directly above the teacher's lounge, so someone would come up and save us. That's the one on High Dive where I'm gonna give you my login, because it's only 13 episodes, and it's consistently hilarious, and there is a dub for it. So I'm gonna
Okay.
get you the login, because
All right.
it's the funniest anime I've watched since Devil's a Part Timer, and I love it. It's just so funny. Um, on So at the time of this recording, which is Wednesday, May 4th, I will be
May the
on a
4th be
plane
with you.
tomorrow night to Arizona. May the 4th be with you. Probably gonna sneeze.
Oh, there's
Oh
a
boy.
big delay for us right now.
There's been a big delay this whole time. It's been really hard to talk
shit.
because it's just constant.
Okay.
But I think it's just the
So there
connection.
was something. Huh?
I don't think the
Yeah.
recording screwed up. Yeah,
Hopefully it
Zencaster
shouldn't.
recently for me has not been good. Yeah.
Okay.
But so on the plane, I'm starting Jujutsu Kaisen, which people are saying is like the best modern shonen anime. That just takes like the tropes of shonen, but just like turns them on their head. And it's like 24 episodes, so I'm gonna watch that. And then I've started The Journey. So I have one anime that is always in the background that I'll watch an episode here and there to slowly catch up, and that is Naruto Shippuden. I've restarted that. I have the filler guide saved on my phone to skip that. What I will say about Naruto is like, obviously it takes a lot of inspiration from Dragon Ball. Naruto is in an orange outfit with yellow hair, and his moody sidekick is in a blue outfit with black hair and has like a superiority complex with his family. Um, so like Dragon Ball walked so Naruto could run, but like Naruto gets so dark, and the running, yes, the Naruto run. Uh, but like there are so many amazing story beats in that actual show that I think Naruto gets slept on a lot because of the first series where they're kids and it's like, oh, they're annoying. It's just like a Dragon Ball Z ripoff just with ninjas. Like there's really good human drama in that show. It's just there's a lot of filler to navigate around. So I've started that as well. And then I'm reading manga as well. So I started Berserk and I started One Piece because I don't want to watch One Piece because I'm not a huge fan of that art style, especially in motion. But in black and white, it's not as bad. So that's kind of where I'm at. Chris, what are you watching?
My new favorite show right now is Love After World Domination.
I've heard good things about
which
that.
is basically it's basically Power Rangers, but the Red Ranger falls in love with someone from the evil side. And
Perfect. Yep.
there's only 2 episodes dubbed so far. But they're two of my favorite pieces. This is the favorite anime I've watched since My Dress Up Darling, because it's got that same kind of energy. Where it's just it's lighthearted and fun. Like there's so many moments like in this newest episode, not to like spoil, but like it's just a fun moment. So they're fighting and they're like, let's take this battle over here. And then like there's this newest chopper watching them. They're like, wow, they're having a really intense fight. They're taking it outside the area so they can keep duking it out. And they take off their masks and they're just like, she's like huddled over to the side. He's like, what's wrong? She's like, I've been sweating all day, so I'm probably all stinky. Don't get near me. And like he's just like, oh, so cute. So the yellow, they're the Gelato Force 5. So the yellow Gelato shows up. She's like, Red, how you doing? And like they're about to like, they're like leaning in, like almost about to kiss or whatever. And he's just like, oh, I hope they didn't see me. She's just lying on the ground, like hands at her side, like pretending to be knocked out. And she's like, oh, you got her. The news chopper shows up and they're like, can you tell us, what do you think about the enemy commander? And he's like, I can't get her out of my mind. Every time we fight, it's just blah, blah, blah. And she like squeals at one point, and they're like, did she just squeal? He's like, no, I didn't hear anything. You're crazy. But they're just trying so hard to like be like romantic and together, and like they just can't let anybody know they're doing it. So they go on like this real date, and it goes awful, but they both have a good time anyway. And he got bad advice from Yellow Gelato because she was drunk. The other characters in this show, like they're not super important, but they're also great because they're all like, because they're not super important, they all like go really hard in their like personality traits. And so far we know the blue one is a flirt. He got like punched in the face once, and he's like, she wants me, she just doesn't know it yet. And then Yellow gets drunk all the time. Green seems like kind of like the stoic kind of asshole, and then the pink Gelato is like young. So I think she's kind of like maybe naive or something. I don't know. The leader of them looks like Dr. Light from Mega Man. It's great. Like I love that show. It's
Nice.
so good.
Nice.
And like the episode ended with a monologue from her cat, which was ridiculous.
Perfect.
The cat was talking. It's a great show and I love it. I have been continuing to watch Spy X Family. It's good. I'm not in love with it yet. The third episode was better than the second, but like it's not like exceptional yet. I'm kind of waiting for the show to kind of, the best character in the whole show is the daughter, because the daughter can read minds. And so like she reads like what they're thinking sometimes. And she, like the mom is like holding her hand. She's like, I just hope I don't hug her too hard. Like that one time I broke my brother's ribs or whatever. So the daughter, her face goes like all wide and her eyes are like, ugh. She runs and hides, and like she's the best part because they don't know she can read minds, but she keeps doing shit to like hint. So I like that. That it's good, and I'm gonna continue to watch it. But like, it's not like, for how people hyped up like how good the manga was and everything. It's not there yet for me. I've been watching more Log Horizon season 2 because I haven't seen that yet, and I've actually been liking it so much. So far better than season 1. And then I finally started Iron Blooded Orphans. I found it.
Yep.
I found both seasons. I started that, and let's just say I've been enjoying it. And
Jesus,
I like Barbatos, and so I got a master grade kit.
Your room is just going to be model kits unassembled in the boxes.
Yes. I figured, why not add to the pile. So I've been enjoying that. It's a good show. It's definitely like a Gundam show. Gundam sometimes has a habit of really like kind of hitting the nail on the head too well, where it's just like, hey, we're gonna, here's this character who's kind of naive to the world but wants to do good, and here's this character. It's kind of like Gundam Wing, where there's this character who's kind of hopeless but wants to change the world, and then there's the guy who's just like, you suck because you don't understand the world. And he's kind of a jerk, and she's just doing whatever she can to win this guy over. Like, I want him to believe in me, and this is all I can do. But it's good. The main character in the dub, or one of the main characters, the leader of their group, is voiced by the guy who did Lelouch. So that's been fun, kind of hearing him give out commands again.
Nice.
So sometimes I'm like, am I watching? What show am I watching? There's some really good battle. Like, I have to tell you, every battle I've watched so far has been exceptional. The animation, like the combat animation, is so good. It's like, it's really like kind of like, they get down and dirty a bit, like some of it is, sometimes it gets a little hard to track because there's a lot of things happening, things shifting in the background, but like the fights have been super entertaining. Like, it's every time someone is fighting someone, I'm like, yes. Like, it is maybe the best like visual combat I've seen in a Gundam show, at least in a long time. Because some of the older shows, they have their moments where, like, I still think the best fight I've ever seen in Gundam is in Sea Destiny, the Freedom versus the Impulse. But like, when Gundam fights are good, they're amazing, and I haven't found a bad one in this show yet.
Nice.
So nice. I'm very much looking forward to continuing to watch it.
Awesome.
That's pretty much everything I've been doing.
Gotcha. There were 2 other series that I forgot about that I did finish. One was called Kekai Sensen, or the English title is what is the English title? Blood Blockade Battlefront. I think that is not a good show. I think that is a boring show, so don't watch it. And then I watched the first season of Konosuba, which is kind of like an isekai. It's Chris, you should watch it. The dub is really good, and it's on HBO.
It's on my list. Yeah,
it's hilarious.
It's on Crunchyroll.
Yeah. Oh, it's on Crunchyroll too. Nice.
Yeah. Season 1.
Yeah, I've not watched season 2 yet. I'm giving myself a break. But those were another 2 series that I watched. So,
yeah, they have the 2 and then
Chris,
they have
you will like Konosuba a lot.
I've heard a lot of people. That's one of the ones when I finished Sword Art. That was one of the ones people recommended to me. I have a couple other anime like that I am planning on watching. That's one of them. Nat has been telling me I have to watch Aransa wa Hakaranai. I think it's Hakaranai. Aransan wa Hakaranai. Hakarenai. And it's Aransan wa
HAK what?
Hakarenai. He showed me when I was up at your place for PAX. He showed me like a couple parts. So basically, it's like the main characters. It's this guy who like doesn't like. He's worried about like this girl because she doesn't show emotion, and he's trying to teach her to show more emotion, but he's also bad at showing emotion, and so like
Yeah,
It's just
and
these
he
two
just
like
like
straight face.
and she just like whispers and it's like ASMR. Yeah,
Yeah, he's like it's these two straight faced
yeah,
protagonists who don't know how to interact well with their feelings, and he's trying to teach her how. And the couple of scenes he showed me were
yeah.
actually really funny. So they're dubbing
Mhm.
that, so that's on the list. There's a lot of stuff I
Nice,
got to catch up
nice.
on though from the olden days. Like I promised somebody I'd watch Tokyo Ghoul, because they were like, you have to watch that. I've got I
So
know
with Tokyo Ghoul, oh, sorry, just quickly, I have heard from a lot of people that the Tokyo Ghoul anime is not very good.
I heard it's one of the ones that like season 1 is good and then season 2 is bad.
Yeah, I
So
think I think it goes completely like off base with what the manga's doing in a bad way in season 2. I think so.
yeah.
I want to
Um
read that manga.
yeah, I have a lot of stuff on my list. I want to watch like I got a bunch of isekai on my list that I need to watch, but like I'm Sword Art is still on my brain, so I'm kind of trying to keep away from it a bit. I have Darling in the Franxx on my list, and I heard that show ended poorly, but it was good before that, so like I kind of want to watch that. Hold on, let me look.
Mm.
Let me just go through here. Where's my list? Crunchyroll, my watch list. Jujutsu Kaisen is on my list, and that's towards the top. Oh, I also want to watch this. So,
Mhm.
Crunchyroll just got Steins Gate Zero, which is
Oh yeah.
if he gave up on time travel, what
Oh.
what Okabe would do. So I kind of want to see that. Um, I have Mob Psycho. I have Kill la Kill. I have
Mhm.
Original Gundam that I kind of want to watch. I do have Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter, I guess. I don't know which one. Didn't they do this twice?
Yeah, the 2011 one is the good one. The one that's
I, th-
148 episodes. There was one from like 97 or something, and then
I
2011.
this looks like
It'll
a
say
20.
2011 in parentheses
This
afterward.
doesn't say. This one's only 74 episodes, unless there's another season.
Okay, that's the old one. Yeah. So I'm looking at my anime list right now, and the Hunter x Hunter that's in my to watch list has a parentheses 2011 after it. That's the one you want. That's 148.
Okay. So I guess this is the bad
That
one.
was
Okay,
the
so I guess
better
I don't want to
adaptation.
watch this one. Like this is the logo
Yeah.
for it. I'm gonna send you this. Hold on, it's just on Discord. That's the logo for
Yeah.
it that I have. So maybe I'll skip that one then.
Mm.
But I've got Jujitsu. I've got all that. I kind of want to watch Persona 5 the animation, even though I heard it's not great. I just kind of want to experience Persona again without having to play 150 hours. Somebody recommended 86, which I want to watch. I heard Fire Force is good. That's on my
That's
list.
on my list. Yeah.
I've got so many shows on this list. Goblin Slayer I need to watch. Demon Slayer I need to watch. Overlord, Black Clover I think was actually one that might have been the one that somebody
Mm-hmm.
told me to watch. Black Clover.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've heard that's good. There's so much. There's so goddamn
Mm-hmm.
much.
Yep.
There's not enough
Yep.
time. Not enough time.
No.
But there's
No. I
so
mean,
much
yeah.
time
Just
until Attack on Titan comes back.
Attack on Titan. Yeah. A couple of the ones on my list are um, a lot of the Fate, a lot of the Fate series. I kind of want to
I watched
dip my
Fate Stay
toes
Night,
into.
I think. Is the only one, the
Mm,
first one.
gotcha.
I watched that. I have to
Yeah.
watch the others. Fate Stay Night was weird, but I ended up liking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have Bokurano, which is a mech show, but the premise is that when the kid, so there's like 12 or 13 kids, and they have to get in, like, there's something threatening the world, and one of them has to get in the mech. So they have to fight, and then once they get out of the mech, they die. So it's this like very interesting premise of like humanity and kind of what it means to like save the world type of deal. It's only
What's that called?
24 episodes. Uh, Bokurano. Here, I'll send this over in Discord so you can see it. So that's on my list. Darker Than Black, which you've told me for
Yes.
years, is on my list. I will get to that. Let's see. Haikyuu, the volleyball anime that I only hear good things about, is on my list. Uh, I want to. I never finished Ghost in the Shell standalone complex. That's on my list. Made in Abyss, Madoka Magica, Megalobox, Mushishi, Ping Pong the Animation, Razafon, Space Dandy, Summer Wars, all of the Gundams, but specifically Turn A Gundam and G Gundam for the ridiculousness of it.
Watch the dub.
And
Watch the dub for G. It's awful.
Yep.
I love it.
Oh yeah. Yep. And and kind of one of the highest ones on my list that I want to get to is just 112 episodes. So
It's just
I'm kind of hitting other
112.
stuff first. Yeah, it's is Yu Yu Hakusho, because I remember watching that on Toonami and freaking loving it, but I just kept getting episodes out of order because I could never like keep
That's
up
why
with
I
it.
never fell in
So
love
that's
with
on my
Wing,
list.
because I kept
Yeah.
catching episodes
Yeah.
out of order, and then once I finally sat down and watched it, it was really good. I'm thinking about watching Double O again,
Yeah.
because apparently they're making a movie for Double O, another thing
Weird.
or something. They're making more Double O, and I don't understand. But yeah, I don't understand. Maybe they're trying to fix it. I don't know. I was gonna say
Yeah.
something though. Fuck, I forgot what it was. They're dubbing over the next 7 weeks. Crunchyroll is releasing dubs for all of like the Attack on Titan OVAs.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
I have that to look forward to for the next 7 weeks at least. They're for the
True.
first time getting
Very
dubbed.
true.
So that's exciting. But yeah, let's
yeah, it's anime's exciting.
yeah. This is new for us to really enjoy this. So let's ooh, okay. He has sent me I'm Sakamoto. I see the scene he's talking about already. I see it. I see
It's
the whooshing.
just
I see
so
the whoosh.
funny. Oh, it's a different. It's even a different whoosh. There are multiple whooshes.
All right.
Oh man.
Thank you guys for dealing with our rambling. When we spoil stuff, we just like to talk about our favorite parts, is what it comes down to.
Yep.
So it's more of a ramble cast, but that's what we're good at. So we're going to keep doing it. If you guys enjoyed it,
Maybe
let
we
us
should.
know.
Ramblecast is a great name for what we do, to be perfectly honest.
We can call it the HalfGen Ramblecast.
I'm very tempted.
One tangent after the other. I mean, hey, we're going to see what happens next week, because all bets are off. Or next month, all bets are off.
One tangent
now.
at
We're
a
just
time.
talking. Oh man, that could be our new tagline.
No one take that. That's
I'm gonna
ours.
have to- I'm gonna
We
have to
trademarked
do
it already.
that.
Shut up.
All right.
Yeah.
It goes on
Cool.
and on and on and on. Guys, thank you. Follow us on Twitter @officialhalfgen if you want to see occasional posts where sometimes we ask you what you're watching or playing, and sometimes we tell you about podcasts coming out. That's fun. That's the best source to see anything about us. There's a Facebook page, but I don't really do anything with that because I don't like Facebook as a company or an entity or a service. So follow us on Twitter. Elon Musk hasn't ruined it yet. We'll see what happens. I don't know, but yeah. We'll catch you guys on our next podcast, which will be the end of May, where we're going to talk about probably more anime, stuff we've been watching. We'll probably talk some games. Maybe we'll talk some movies. I don't know if you're going to be going to see whatchamacallit, Doctor Strange. I don't know if that's in your in your schedule or not. I don't know what that means.
One sec.
Oh.
1 sec. I can't hear you.
Oh
no.
It's
Oh,
okay.
no.
We'll call it. Follow us on Official HalfGen.
Hold on.
@official HalfGen. I'm Nightmare CV. If you want to follow me, I have a Twitch channel, Nightmare CV, and I have a Twitter, Nightmare CV. He's RP Orlando 91 on Twitter. He doesn't stream. He just watches stuff and plays games. He's smarter than me. Oh, he heard that. He heard that. Okay.
I'm back.
Just in time to hear that. Okay. Ross, you want to plug anything? I'm trying to get better about plugging us.
Yeah. I mean, we're gonna have our monthly podcast episode. I don't know if now, since we've kind of said we're just going to talk about anything on the podcast if HalfGen is dead and that's just folding into our regular podcast.
That was the plan. That was the plan. Instead of having to do Anagen, now it's just HalfGen. It's all that.
Yeah. So enjoy our next podcast where Chris will have games to talk about, and I probably won't. I'll just be talking about anime. So
but it doesn't matter anymore.
It doesn't matter.
Matter anymore. We should have done
Nothing
this years
matters
ago.
anymore.
Thank you guys for being here. I love you. Bye-bye.